What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with Anthony Smith reflects on retirement fight at UFC Kansas City, while admitting he got what he was looking for the whole time. Anthony Smith had a career that has outlasted those of countless others. Following Smith's retirement at UFC Kansas City, he appeared on MMA Today to share his thoughts on his final bout. After 60 professional fights, it took Lionheart a final outing to finally grant what he had been longing to find. Speaking to fellow former UFC fighter Din Thomas, Smith came to terms with the fact that he never became a UFC champion, nor had a noteworthy career to be inducted into the promotion's Hall of Fame. But the hard work he put in his final fight was more than enough, and Lionheart wanted to be acknowledged for the grind. I've realized it these last couples of weeks. It was never really about the title. I just wanted my journey acknowledged and my effort. I wanted my effort to be acknowledged, and I'll never win a title. Obviously, I'll never be in the Hall of Fame. But I think what I got that Saturday night was what I've been looking for this whole time. I just wanted to be acknowledged. I think that's all it was. How Khabib's coach relates to Muhammad's stubbornness in UFC 315 loss. Javier Mendez disagrees with Belal Muhammad's approach in his UFC 315 title loss, but understands why he did it. Mendez recalls former undefeated UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov's eagerness to show off his striking and prove that he's not just an elite grappler. None of us thought that Belal would be able to beat him just standing up, so he wanted to do what none of us thought that he could do. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but that's what it appeared like to me, that he wanted to stand. He didn't want to implement what got him the title. I used to be on Khabib all the time because Khabib, everybody always criticized him for not being good at striking. I'd always keep him on track, but he'd always go off track trying to prove to people that he could stand, and he could stand as the fights went on later. Later, he was able to stand really well, extremely well, but I still didn't like that because I wanted him to go back to what made him the best, and that's the mistake a lot of fighters make. They want to try to prove their point that they can do things that people think they can't do. Mendez also gave credit to Della Maddalena for his ability to keep the fight on the feet. At the same time, too, maybe Jack didn't allow him those opportunities. But Jack did a great job. He mixes up his punches and his kicks really well, keeps his distance really well, stayed in the middle the majority of the time. He's all around just a really, really good fighter. Magomed Ankalaev makes claim regarding possible Alex Pereira rematch. UFC light heavyweight champion Magomed Ankalaev has provided an update on a potential rematch against Alex Pereira. As we know, Magomed Ankalaev is the king of the light heavyweight division. He earned that title as a result of beating Alex Pereira to claim the belt back at UFC 313. Ever since then, fans have been wondering whether or not we're going to see these two men run it back for the championship at some point in the future. In a recent tweet, Ankalaev had a short and sweet message to send to his fans about what's been going on. I was offered to fight Alex International Fight Week if the man don't want it. Let's move on. I'm ready for everyone. I dare you. It's hard to know exactly what's happening in the midst of all this, but one thing is for sure, we need some clarity and we need it soon. Kamaru Usman insists he's indifferent to rival Belal Muhammad losing title at UFC 315. Don't expect Kamaru Usman to revel in Belal Muhammad's title loss at UFC 315. Muhammad took numerous shots at Usman during fight week when referencing their altercation during his appearance on the Pound for Pound podcast. But Usman didn't take the opportunity to fire back. He offered a classy response to Muhammad's loss. People get so invested in this game to where they think that I'm supposed to be happy because he lost. Why would I be happy because he lost? I hadn't fought him yet. Yes, me and him weren't the best of friends. I'll tell you that for sure. But that doesn't mean I'm happy that he lost. As a former champion, as far as a pound-for-pound top dog, as far as not just the rankings, but also as far as selling pay-per-views, I understand what this game is. Listen, as much as we didn't like each other, it was still something that people wanted to see. It was something that was on the cusp of potentially happening, so no, I'm not excited that he lost. I'm not disappointed. I'm indifferent, absolutely. Especially when a champion loses. I'm not excited about that because it's difficult after you lose. It's difficult to get back. It's difficult to work so hard to get in there, step in there, and try to accomplish something and fall short. It's very difficult. So no, absolutely not excited that he lost. Like many others, Kamaru was confused with Muhammad's game plan. He thinks Muhammad underestimated Della Maddalena by saying he wouldn't shoot any takedowns on him. On the flip side, I will say it was a way that I was looking at this fight. I was looking at the matchup and what was happening leading up to the matchup and what was being said before to where I'm like, why are you not paying too much attention to this guy? It was almost dismissive. Almost like, yeah, I'm not even going to take him down. I'm going to Canelo hands to where I'm like, this kid's not bad. This dude ain't no joke. This dude is good. I see something in his spirit when he fights to where I'm like, this guy could be a problem. Rory MacDonald shuts down MMA return. Although he was only 32 when he retired from MMA, MacDonald started his career in 2005 at age 16. The miles from that early entry into competition and beyond, as well as a change in perspective about what it takes mentally to win at the highest level, ultimately led to his departure. Those same things are what will continue to keep MacDonald away. From time to time it has come back, but shortly after, when I actually think about it and what it entails, I'm just not that kind of person anymore. I don't have the drive, the intensity it takes to be at a championship level anymore. Sometimes it's nice to dream when you're having a lot of coffee or something, but when the reality comes back down to it, it's not for me anymore. Sean Brady explains why he believes Jack Della Maddalena will do better than people think against Islam Makhachev. UFC welterweight contender Sean Brady believes Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev will be a closer fight than people think. After the win, Makhachev called to get that fight to try and become a champ. If that is indeed the next fight, it would be an intriguing matchup, and Brady believes it's a closer fight than people think. I think Jack Della Maddalena is going to make it a lot more interesting than what people would think it would be. He fights as good as he does southpaw that he does orthodox. He's hard to take down. He just has this ability to create these scrambles and get right back to his feet. I think Jack's going to hang around for a little bit longer than people think. Sean Brady believes Jack Della Maddalena's size and strength could pose some problems to Islam Makhachev. Brady also points to Della Maddalena's takedown defense and the scrambling ability he showed off against Belal Muhammad as a reason why he will give Makhachev a tough fight. With Islam Makhachev likely getting the next title shot, Sean Brady believes he will have to take another fight. Brady has no problem taking another fight, and he believes his next opponent should be Ian Machado Gary. If Islam is going to move up, then me and Ian are fighting. I know that's the fight to make. That's just the way I see it. Of course I want the title shot, but there's still Shavkat. There's Islam, Kamaru, and Buckley saying whoever wins is getting a title shot. We're all going to have to fight. I'm going to have to fight Ian Gary eventually. Why not just do it now, and just get it out of the way if I'm as good as I think I am? Tom Aspinall provides fresh update on potential Jon Jones fight. UFC interim heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall has provided an update on a potential fight against Jon Jones. There's been a lot said on this subject over the course of the last few months, and really, over the course of the last year. Tom Aspinall is desperate to lock down a fight against Jon Jones, but unfortunately, the undisputed heavyweight champion just doesn't seem to be all that interested. He continues to wait, seemingly negotiating with the UFC over the right kind of deal, and fans are getting a little bit tired of it. For Aspinall, he has two options. He can either sit and wait himself to see whether or not Jones finally commits to fighting him, or he can opt to take on a new challenge by defending his interim belt. Regardless of how you look at it, the Englishman has certainly been wronged by having to wait this long already. In a recent interview, though, Aspinall provided a significant update, implying that we could hear something sooner rather than later. I just think that he's like 37, 38 years old, but not only that, he's got like 1,000,000 miles on the clock. He's got a lot of damage on the body. He's took a lot of shots to the head, and that's not me saying anything negative about it. That's the reality of it, and I'm sure Jon Jones is aware of that. I've had enough. I think we either need to fight or I need to move on and do something else, and like I said, I'm going to find out. Literally, today is the day that I've been waiting 3-4 months for, and I'm going to find out today.